planning for the precise moment to act because the people of Auradon have long since forgotten how close they are to the threat they created. My time here is over, and all that stands in my way is a foolish prince and a handful of VKs who have turned their backs on their own people.
Hey Descenders, when Cheyenne Jackson was announced to be Hades in Descendants 3 last May, I knew from that very second where I was standing in PE class when I got the notification that I was getting a Hades doll. And I finally got one. After almost a year, I finally got a custom-made Hades doll, and I am so in love with it. This Hades doll was made with a Descendants 2 Carlos doll, so he was given some stubble texture on his face to make him look a little bit older than Carlos, and then his hair is in an ombre from like a darkish blue to a pretty much white color at the top, and it looks really cool, as you can see. And actually, I took this doll to Disney Channel Fan Fest with the Mal doll, and I showed it to Cheyenne Jackson, who plays Hades in Descendants 3, and he loved the doll, and so that was just extra special. I think that Hades' hair looks a little bit goofy at times, but I definitely think it really works on this doll and makes him look pretty wicked and pretty evil. Do you think Hades is Mal's dad? Let me know down in the comments, because I feel like he is, but I also feel like it's a little too obvious, so I'm not 100% sure. I love this adaptation of Hades' iconic look into Descendants 3. I think it looks super cool while also paying homage to the original. I think it just looks really awesome. So on top, he has a blue scarf, which I think is supposed to be a little bit darker in the movie, but on the doll, it's a little more blue. And there's just a bunch of faces with burning hair on them. So I think that definitely plays a lot into Hades' character and his iconic features, but it is removable, so we're going to take that off right now. This version of Hades has a black leather jacket as well as a black tunic and some pants and some boots. So for his jacket, he has a lot of studs, just like in the Descendants 2 aisle looks for the VKs. They had a lot of studs all over the outfits. Hades definitely has that, and as you can see, there's some blue fire on his jacket. There's just a lot of little tiny details, and he has a chain. He just has a lot going on his jacket, and there's a little skull on it, and it looks really wicked. And there's some more blue flames on the lapel. There's that nice washing, and from the back you can see the collar, and there's not much detail on the back of his jacket, but that's totally okay because the front of his jacket has so many studs and so much detail, and it looks super cool. And I love the little patches of like blue fire on it. I think that looks really cool. The collar of his tunic has like a sparkly fabric on it, and then the rest of his tunic is black with some gray washing, and there's a bunch of little holes in it that make it look kind of old and like dead and like gross and wicked, and it looks really cool. I really like it. It does extend a little bit past his waistline, and there you can see from the back all of the holes and a bunch of the different little details that are put into this kind of rugged aisle-like outfit. And he's been in exile for so long that, like, why would he have something that looks super nice? For his pants, he also has some of the same holes. They're not as prominent in his pants, but he does have the same type of style as his tunic in his pants, and there's a lot of gray washing. I wouldn't necessarily call these pants skinny jeans, but they definitely do form around his legs pretty tightly, and they definitely add to the kind of rocker, wicked look that Hades has in Descendants 3. And for his boots, he just has some boots that look a lot like Mal's Motosport boots, but instead of the green, there's blue. And so there's a lot of really cool washing effects and details to them. I think they definitely tie this whole look together. I think the shoes in Descendants 3 look so cool, which is weird because I've like never cared about shoes before, but the shoes in Descendants 3 are totally wicked. And he also has some handcuffs on his legs because he is being taken into Oridon, as we can see from one of the Hades trailers that just came out at FanFest. And for his gloves, he just has some studs with some black like wrist length gloves, and they definitely look really cool. And he does have a golden ring on, and his nails are painted a really dark blue color. Hercules is one of my favorite Disney films, so I was so excited to hear that Hades was going to be in Descendants 3, and I was even more excited to hear that Cheyenne Jackson from American Horror Story and Glee was going to be in Descendants 3. So now it's your turn to let me know who you think Mal's father is, and tell me all of your Descendants 3 theories down in the comments below.